Hello, welcome to Divine Oracles. First and foremost, let me just do this. Thank you, God, for being with me. Archangels for protecting me. Thank you for Archangel Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael for surrounding me to deliver all the messages for everybody's highest and best good. Amen. So, it's been I feel like heavy week for some. This is collective message here. But I'm also in the collective, so there's that. I'm gonna channel some messages first, and then I'm gonna tap into the cards to kind of give more resonance, clarification, things of that nature. Last week was the retrograde. It actually finished on the 1st. Now, when Mercury retrograde happens, like on a planetary level, it's just, one planet going into another transition. It's not a big thing, but energetically it is. So this could actually set things off in our little universe on this planet where things are just not going as balanced as they should. That's on that. People might act out of character. There's this saying where you shouldn't sign any contracts, deal with people from the past, ex-lovers, karmic people, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. For some people like myself, the retrograde always favors me and has to do with my transits in my chart, my birth chart. So I feel like that's an individual thing. When it comes to taking people back from the past and want to reconcile, all that stuff, personally, I'm not keen on reconciling with somebody that, was never, that I cut off, that wasn't in alignment with me. Like, why should I want to go back? But doesn't mean I haven't gone through those phases, those moments. Took years of learning and so on, but now I'm here. With all that being said, this is our season. Retrograde is known for like not dealing with people from the past and your ex and blah 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 and so on that. And I stand by it, and I don't think it has to do, at least for me, not with Mercury going into like retrograde. It just kind of like a principle in my day in life now. So yeah, with that being said, you might have dealt with things of people from the past, and it doesn't have to be ex-lovers. It could also be friends, family members, just basically people that you just, I don't want to deal with you because you did this, that, and the third. And now they have this urge or pull to come in, and you have this openness to like, all right, for this month, all right, okay. But then, when that duration finished, you see them, revert back to like their old ways. So it just becomes like a hectic cycle. So like, I don't know, why do you want to go through all that? Again, I'm all about cutting cords and moving forward, and that will probably be one of my best advice as well. I feel like again, the season here is more so about people want to return back in. The choices you make in terms of like business is a bit, maybe you should kind of stand off on it. But like, I feel like that's for some. Again, it depends on what you have in your transits for you to be affected, and like financially and in any shape or form, or even like people karmic wise. But like, yeah, that's probably for some. But I'm very full and hectically. This is like we're tapping into the channel message here. It's like a lot of you guys, whoever is tuning into my channel, you guys are not are yeah, you all are dealing with narcissistic, stalker-ish, gaslighting people. These are the energies that is trying to kind of like tap into your life, or has been, at least for during this retrograde, okay? And how you would know this, if you haven't got any physical contact with them, is that you see them in your dreams. So it could be like, let me give you an example. All of a sudden, it could be years, weeks, months, whatever it is, the case may be, start having like dreams about your narcissistic like parents, your narcissistic cousins, your narcissistic ex. That doesn't have to be narcissistic, but I'm getting energetic. I keep hearing narcissistics. That's why I'm being repetitive here. It could just, again, it could be somebody that just gaslighted you, just somebody that was just unkind. They don't have to be narcissistic, but a lot of them, at least for the people that are tuning in, as for this video, dealt with people that have narcissistic tendencies or are just a narcissist. And I say this word lightly as well, because it's not a word that should be thrown around, because it is a condition, not a good one. But I don't want to go into like the technicalities of it, but like all in all, you know, a lot of you guys are dealing with people that have narcissistic tendencies or are a narcissist. Family, friends, lovers, who may the case be. So you have seen them in your dreams. That's like one of the main symptoms. Everything happens spiritually. In order to kind of tap into that, you know, spiritually, I take dreams on that level, you know. And when that occurs, things can like transform into the physical, unless, you know, God said no, or your angel says no. Depends on your like your protection team, your spiritual team, and your like defenses here, spiritual as well as physical. Like there's a lot of levels here, but I'm trying to keep it simple. You see, number one, you see them in your dreams. Number two, you act out of character. So it could be like you're having random fights with people not getting along with you. Like, this is the most abnormal thing, but it just starts happening like, and it's like a pattern. It's not like a 1 hour thing, a 1 day thing, you know. If it's like a 1 day thing, like everybody can have a bad day, but if it goes up on in a pattern like for a week, specifically for a week, but like, you know, pattern for me is like when things happens in threes. So like for 3 days straight, you having like offbeat like interactions with your boss for no apparent reason, you know. Same thing with your family, your lover, a stranger, like who may be, like there are always some sort of altercations, like, and you act out of character and they act out of character. That's like symptom number one. Symptom number three is then you like enticing with acting out of character. You start like do things you normally won't do. You start tapping into like bad habits that you let go for like years, months, whatever the main case be. But like I would say closely to like months or years, and all of a sudden you start starting to like do habits that you cut off. It could be like bad habits that you consider bad. So, you know, whatever you consider that is like low vibrational for you, whether it's eating the wrong thing, you know, alcohol, doing drugs, whatever it may be, gossiping, like whatever the case may be that, you know, wasn't for highest and best good. And all of a sudden this has become your daily life now after like a few months or years, and you're doing this like for a week now, and you see this as normal. But it's like, the reason why I'm mentioning this as one of the symptoms, it's a blockage. Whatever you're doing that you don't want to deal with anymore, and you start doing it, you know, and it's a streak of the same pattern. You won't be progressive in life. You start doing, you know, going after your dreams. You start, you know, kind of dabbling into things that didn't move you forward, gain your knowledge, you know. Like it's just like a whole hoopla of shenanigans, whole hoopla of like, you know, meh, and you don't want to be in that energy. And yeah, that's like what the third symptom. And the fourth one is like it's tied up, everything is tied in, but like it's tied into the whole tapping into the bad habits. It's like when you do things that and it's very sensitive. Now, if you were seeing anything, and this is for people that are very highly like spiritual, uh, like myself, or whoever is doing low vibrational things in terms of magic, energy wise, um, if they're sending you like sexual dreams, if you're seeing sexual dreams with whoever and whomever for like a week straight, that is kind of like symbolic for something major to kind of tap into your life, where it's just like a streak of disaster. And that is when you really should take your spiritual practices like really serious, cleanse yourself, be out in nature as much as possible. I am also a holistic healer, and as someone that has been through all of the above, I also do cleanse energy, but that's for like another video in itself. I just want to like clarify the symptoms here. If you do see anything sexual and you feel uneasy in yourself when you wake up, feel like you're in a sleep paralysis, there we go, that is like really time for like some spiritual practices here, some cleansing. When that happened, you might also feel the urge to kind of reach out to that specific person, or act out of character in a sexual way. Another blockage, but also like if it goes against your will, it's a serious like situation here. But you really have to be on a high level, like field, low vibrational wise or high vibrational wise, to even like being able to actually do this. But when that happened, the spiritual attack in terms of sexual, get your spiritual practices up, or as a holistic healer you can also come and deal with me. But like that is a sign of like heavy dark magic in terms of like a love spell, and I feel like a lot of people don't take this like they don't take this very serious. They take this very lightly. It's a serious case. This could actually stop you from dealing with your current partner, your future partner, because again, like the logic here is like, why do you want to deal with somebody when you don't want to, like they have treated you bad? In this case, there were like a lot of narcissists in this group here, but like, why do you want to deal with somebody that treated you bad in any shape or form? Like, why do you want to like let me go back, like why do you, I'm not saying to like don't have sympathy for people, forgive and move on, that's how you clear energy. But like, why do you want to deal with somebody that puts you through hell again? And I feel like the worst hell is dealing with somebody that has narcissistic tendencies, because that is something that is really hard to get out, and spiritual or non-spiritual, like that is another level of bondage. But let me kind of minimize it. I explained all the symptoms. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for helping me through it with this. Now you know. And again, it has to be like for a streak of like several days. And if everything I have mentioned has happened in combination, all in all, get your spiritual practice on. You can also see me as a holistic healer as well. Whatever you're being led to spiritually, it's what you're supposed to do. With all that being said, there's also a lot of gaslighting. I feel like a lot of people has gaslighted you. There's a group that have narcissistic tendencies or a narcissist. The gaslighting with them was strong. This is kind of, let me just give more resonance here for the individuals that are tuning in. The gaslighting here is strong. Gaslighting here is like when people are, this is if you don't know, let me make it simple. I tell you I cooked today, and then the person that's gaslighting is saying that this doesn't look cooked. Meanwhile, this is actually is actually cooked. So like they're actually making you doubt your reality. That's gaslighting. Now there is spiritual gaslighting as well, where it's like they're trying to defame your name, things of that nature. That's also a thing. So I feel like a lot of like the group here is dealing with the heavy energies from the past here. Was very good at manipulating, gaslighting, being a narcissist. Now, when I did mention put defamation on your name, like there might be some people that like to gossip you and trying to taint your name. That's also a thing that's going on collectively for you guys that are tuning in. And yeah, and I'm seeing here the Hierophant. They might be a Taurus in terms of a tropical energy. And it could also signify like individuals that you guys were either married to or in a long-term relationship. The problem here is, let me start with the card because I have more to channel. So like the problem here is they see you glowing up, coming up, getting wealth. That's the problem. That's why they're returning, to like cause more chaos and sabotage. Some of them wants to block you, have done all these things, either definitely spiritually. Some of them have kind of gone out their way to do something like physically. So going back to the gang stalking, I'm kind of focusing and seeing the word stalking. So some of them might be stalking you. I feel like for a small percentage of you, and it's more so stalking like, and I would take this lightly, like anyone that treats you kind of off and is kind of on your tail and you don't know, that's pretty like off to me, pretty like intimidating. So like if they're like, they could have like secret accounts, they could be around your neighborhood, things of that nature. That's like for a small amount, but that's going on as well. As of, I'm not saying date, but currently, let me just say currently, okay? Now retrograde was like a few weeks ago, ended last week, so, or on the 1st, but yeah, you know what I mean. It was heavy craziness going on last week. And with that being said, because they're coming up, they feel some type of way, and I feel like the wealth here is also like the key factor. For some odd reason, all of you guys, or collectively, we're getting wealth. And the wealth thing is bothering the fuck out of the Narc, the people from, that are trying to come back during the retrograde. And they don't even have to have narcissistic tendencies. They could just be like childhood friends, people you don't deal with anymore. And they just be like, but how did she come up? How did he come up? How did he get so much wealth? Like, what's going on? Like, how did this happen? And this is making some of them kind of like gaslight you, saying that, oh, you know, the way she got that way, or the way he, you know, came up with that business. Like, they're trying to defame your ways and how you got things and where you got in your life, because they're not comprehending that you actually put in work, that you actually cut off the torn. There we go. Like, my English is like messing up, but like you basically cut off the leaf, I should say, that wasn't like linked to the tree, basically. So like it's almost back to the, like, if I pedal back to the tree of life, whatever is not growing, you are just basically like, okay, well, sayonara, it's you then. And I feel like they are kind of like flabbergasted. They're like, not that you cut them off, but more so you cutting them off and coming up and getting, specifically for the majority of you guys, that wealth. Getting some sort of wealth that is kind of like mind-boggling for them. So yeah, that's like the main issue here. Like, they're doing all of this because you're getting wealth. All the 3 factors as well, but the wealth thing is really bothering them as fuck. or some sort of wealth. It could be like in the wealth sense of like recognition. 80% of you guys financial like income here, but like, yeah, status, yeah. All right, things of that nature. Yeah. So I feel like some of you, for some of you guys, the people that are stalking, and I'm actually like, it could be, you can actually spiritually stalk somebody, or find out like, you know, you can have dreams of somebody and see them. If you're highly spiritual, you know exactly what I mean. See a kind of like glimpse of their lives, things of that nature. But all that being said, I feel like they saw some sort of things in their dream which made them kind of do things behind the scenes, either spiritual or physical, in terms of like blocking your way. Hence why you were acting out of character, having all the symptoms that I mentioned priorly in the video. Some of them are also very keen to, a small amount of, is very keen to find out, because they don't even believe that you actually got to where you got to today, because it's such a shift in their understanding, their comprehension, that you can actually elevate. So for a small portion of you guys, they feel like you might have got with somebody. They're trying to figure out who you got with, who's like, who you're dealing with, whether it be like a spouse or like a partner, or like a company, whatever it is, trying to figure out who they are for you to kind of get where you are in this life. And if they can, and it's so sad because all of this doesn't even make sense to me, but I feel like if they can't beat you, and this is generic here, if they cannot beat you, they will find a way to actually lie their way, charm their way back into your life, so they can be a part of whatever success that is coming towards you. And that is kind of like the final outcome. Like if they can crush you, block your success, your way, or this whatever wealth you're kind of getting into your life, in your purpose here, they're literally trying to find a way to be your person again, or like your family again, or your friend again. And I do this intentionally here because it's just a front, it's a fake, because you know they want to have access to that blessing that God is giving to you. And I'm feeling very frustrated as well, because I feel like some of them are frustrated because they don't have access to you. Definitely not like physically, but some of them have really tried on the spiritual level, and you've had all the symptoms but just haven't been broken down. You're still elevating, you're still rising, you're still going forward, and props to you, you know, because at the end of the day, whatever is kind of put out there will be balanced out at the end of the day. That's how spiritual law works, that's how energy works. Whatever you put out is what you're gonna get back in return, and that's on that. Like you can't change that. It's almost like, you know, if you love someone, you love someone, and you cannot help who you love. Some of you guys, when I mentioned that, some of you guys might be dealing with like a same-sex like relationship, being that type of like, you know, demographic here. That might be for some. Or I feel like one person, like at least for like 1 or 2 persons here. So yeah. The frustration is real though. On the other side, the people are doing low vibrational shit. Like, it's ridiculous. I feel like it's so absurd. Why do you want to deal with somebody that you treated so bad? Like, why do you want to go back? Like, is wealth that hard to like achieve? Like, if you're a good person and if your energy is correct now, you would get what's owed back to you. Like, it's not that difficult. It's not that hard. So like, I feel like you guys might feel this way, you know. Maybe not specific terms of like words here, but like just energy wise, like, you know, it's not that difficult to like, you know, move forward in life, elevate if you're again good person, you put in the work. So like, you know, good people do rise. It's a thing, okay? And it will be a thing. I feel seasons have changed now. Energies are not how they used to be, you know. Yes, whew, shall we end this thing today? So basically, oh yeah, I'm hearing jealousy as well. they're really up here to like, some of them really went out their way to different sort of like magic ways. I practice magic, and I just feel like that is actually has led some, I want to say leading, but has already led, so it's already in the works, has led someone or a few people, but I want to say someone, because I'm not really certain, but it's led somebody to like lose their walls, which has made them lose their mind, and some has literally just kind of lost their minds in general, based on them losing their walls, but also based on the fact that you're elevating. Like, they're literally not even on a joking side to like, ha ha ha, you're going crazy, but more so they're actually like, you know, going into the direction of becoming mentally like unstable due to the fact that you're doing so well, moving on and elevating. And you know, God don't play, universe don't play, like, but that's just for some. For that specific group, for those, that small like 2%, I would advise, you know, if they, again, whoever you dealt with that wasn't right in their mental state and want to come back and is trying to do some things in the physical, you know, of course, you know, we have to be logical here. You gotta add in, apply the spiritual essence of protection, but you know, don't hesitate to like bring in like physical protection as well when dealing with, you know, whomever, for the small amount of you guys that are not right in their ways with you, you know, like on a mental state or like on a physical state here. Like, don't be afraid to be like make things right logically, you know, not just spiritually. And this is for the people that have dealt with people that basically I'm not, like, on some physical level just treated you like shit, like mentally or physically. Like, don't be afraid to be like, let me take some precaution here, you know, because people are crazy out here. Okay, so yeah, that was also something that was like heavy in my heart as well. I feel like we are kind of like ending, or so let's add in here. I'm actually going to cut this deep here. And keep hearing say that they were, something that they will mention though is like they love you. This is what they're going to mention, is that they love you. And this, I'm telling you, like, for someone that's dealt with things spiritually and physically as well on all levels, this is why I heal and teach. We all gotta, we have to use the logic here in this, okay? Don't deal with them, don't go back. But they're gonna say, I love you. Let's get married, let's be together. You and me is a forever thing. I have healed, let's heal this heart. You heard what I said in the beginning. Hopefully you have been through this entire video now and heard everything. It's a facade. Don't don't be lured back in. You know better now. I feel like everybody's tuning in, they know better now. And before, I wanted to end this as well, but I want to pedal back as well. There is like a 25%. That might be a bit too much, but like this, I said 20%, okay? The specific group has dealt with some karma and the ways of how they dealt with you. They got it back somewhere from someone, okay? Whether family, friends, their lover, whatever the case may be. And this is making them realize their mistake that they did with you, making them want to reconcile and do everything back. But again, you have to kind of be cautious how things are going in pattern of what you hear from me and see in the beginning. This is also just for them to like, kind of like, get rid of the guilt, make peace with you. and not get like ridiculed by the universe again. It's like almost like they're trying to like, stop their karma, their lesson. But there's no such thing. I don't know how long you guys dealt with whomever, but everything is due to what is due to. All right, it's just universal law, universal intelligence. It is what it is. All right. Yeah, that's just for it's a huge chunk of you guys. Huge 20% here. Then whatever karma you dealt when you dealt with them, they have received that back and they're realizing their faults now. Do you forgive them? Yes. That's what we do, and this is how we move forward. This is how we clear energy. Do we need to accept them back and be all, how we used to be? No. Like what for? Okay? We ain't got time in this space in life. Like we only have one earthly life, okay? Spiritually, it's something else. But like on an earthly level, we do not have time to go back to the past now. In the essence of Jesus, Yeshua, H. Christ, he said that why worry about tomorrow when, tomorrow takes care of itself. Basically, there's only the now, the present here. We don't deal with the past. That's why Jesus meant here. Like, we do not deal with the past. We don't need to deal with the past. We don't need to worry about the past, okay? So, yeah. I feel like I said what I need to say. Keep on strong with the protection mode. Keep on moving forward. It's fine also if you take a few days, break or whatever. But when you see there's a pattern of where you're not being productive or progressive in your life, and you feel like I feel like I'm in a dump, then just reflect on it and tune in spiritually, God, pray, meditate, like you will know what to do after that. But if I have those symptoms and it's been longer than 3 days, you know what to do, comment down below if you feel like it. Check out my website as well if you feel like it. And until next time.